Alright, so tapping back into the game, just gonna go over some stuff. Basically the first 10 minutes, I'll try not to pause it too much just so it doesn't actually take too long. I don't know, my bind's set up for spectator mode, so we'll just see how everything goes. So this is fine, because if you just let him move in on you, obviously he'll have a bit of a kiting advantage. You'd eventually close the gap on him, but you don't have your slow yet, so it doesn't matter. That right there, this is an issue I'm going to touch in on a lot. You path back and forth away a lot, which naturally your instinct to get away from him is to run like this, but his longest range poke is actually that little bomb that he throws like that. And if you just keep walking away from it, then you're basically just walking in the same path. It's the Prometheus run, if you're just to compare it to CinemaSins, I guess. Much better would be strafing back and forth and just stutter stepping, so then he has to try to predict you. Here it happens again, you're just walking backwards away from it, so all he has to do is throw it straight at you, and eventually it'll bounce and make contact. Let's jump ahead, don't we have minions? Alright, starting from here, I haven't actually seen anything. So you get your ward up, that's fine, not a big deal. Here, you path back away again, like this. Would be much better run into your minion line, because at that point, his little bombs only do that much damage to you. You can just slow him, and now he's going to take a bunch of minion damage if he picks a fight. I mean, you can't slow him yet, but... So actually, yeah. Right now, not big deal so far. Good job getting the last hit with your Q. Definitely want to build those stacks. That would have been a great time to steal a hit on this. As it is... Yep, you're going to get another Q. You're still standing on this side of your minions, though. So your minion... One got aggroed, but if you stand over here, you'll be protected. You'll have a chain of minions in between you, and you'll just generally be a lot safer. Because, like, right now, he's level 2. You should be hitting level 2. Right now, you're actually really too far away. You have to be at least about here, because you're not getting any XP for these minions dying, and you're actually giving yourself a gold, XP deficit on top of the gold deficit now. Knowing how to farm under turret is important. You get that one. I think you're going to miss both of these, probably. Yeah, that one you could have hit. And now this field is actually going to make it really difficult for you to get the last hit. You got the one. That's something. But you're still generally, at this point, you've gotten yourself too low to actually posture in lane. Because he's not going to be threatened by you. You're backing up too far, so it's basically a lot of the same stuff from the beginning. Is that you're just losing a lot of health from... health, CS, and experience from standing too far back. Losing the cannon's a kind of big deal too, obviously. And now, at this point, you just have to forfeit and go back, because you're not going to get anything out of this. You might get lucky and you have your field last hit that. No, it's not going to happen. That'd be fortunate anyway. But right now, you're just kind of standing under your turret, and he knows you're not a threat to him. So he's just going to farm like free, try to take you down, and you lose your flash really, really early in the game. So... At this point, you're going to go back. This should have happened probably about a minute ago. It should have happened around here or a little bit before. So we'll forward up a bit. Try to get an idea of things. Where are our creep scores? Yeah, right now it's 5 to 17, so you can already see how big a difference this is starting to make. I don't know if I have a way of looking at his gold. Don't think I do. I mean, I know there is a way, but I don't know it. Okay, that poke doesn't really matter. Just gotta be careful not to walk into that. You get the field down, and right now you're actually level with him, and you have all your abilities. So if you path along here, you can sit up opposite of him, and you can see he's low on mana. So if you path up opposite, you can actually slow him, go in on him, and you have the health advantage on top of all of this. As well as the buy advantage, because he hasn't had a chance to go back, so even if it's just a dagger, you actually have an attack speed advantage. You cash in the heavy hit. That one would have been better to use the basic attack. I know you want to build up the stacks, but it would have been really good for like securing this kill, which, yeah. You end up missing. This one you got to hit now if you want to get... Okay, that was actually a better CS path than I would have had, so no complaints there. Here, you're still standing in front of the minions. You want to stand behind the minions or in them. His bouncing bomb stops on first enemy hit, so you really want to make sure that you aren't that first enemy hit. Seeing him. This is him posturing. He knows you're not a threat to him because you're too low on health. And you also don't have your teleport, so you actually have a very tough time getting back. You'd like to shove the wave here, but Nassus can't lane shove, so it's really all about not falling too far behind in these first sort of engagements. I guess to go over what it should look like real quick, instead of what... Because now we're repeating a lot of the same mistakes. This doesn't do a ton of poke. It's good for setting up a field he doesn't want to be in, but it's not really good for actually applying any pressure. You can see he's low on mana, so what a good losing lane, because losing lanes happen, it should be about 50% of the time, honestly, so it's not that big a deal. The only problem here is how you're losing the lane. You can see even at this stage, you're still half of his CS, and that's actually going to drastically increase. I think you missed almost the entirety of this wave, because there was a time when I checked, when I was over here, and you had 16 CS. So you're challenging him right now. He's got his ult. Nothing good is going to happen there. You got to really just be aware. You might have been trying to get some damage in before you died because you knew you couldn't get away. That's all good. But really what it comes down to is that was not the time to go in and farm. You know he's got his ult. You can see he's level 6. And you know he's already higher than you on health. This is a misplay by Ziggs. I don't know why he's going back. That's just incorrect. You could have definitely gotten 2 turret plates here. So yeah, what a winning losing lane. It's farming under your turret, but still getting the majority of the last hits under turret. It's not all that hard to do. It's just about knowing the health bars and how much damage you do. Nassus is actually one of the best under turret farmers. He does a very good job of farming under turret because of his Q, which guarantees him last hits on even like half health targets, especially as you start building up your stacks. I don't think I can look at your... Well, I don't know how to manipulate that, so I'm not going to bother messing with it. Looking at your other lanes, right now, this is the one thing you did do very well. You can see that actually, you probably don't know this. You might. Oh, we'll go back to this real quick. So he just shoves you down real quick. You're at about half health. Now you're below half. Still running in the straight line. Would have been better to kite this way. He can't basic attack you anyway. Whereas if you go down here, all he has to do is throw the bomb like this. It'll always make contact. Always try to think about sidestepping when you're dodging. You go back in for it, and you're still over here. He has a straight line of sight on you. You have to step over here behind your wizards, because now he can posture using just the bouncing bomb, and he doesn't even have to worry about trying to thread it through minions and stuff. You're making his job a lot easier than it has to be. So looking at our lanes, not a big difference. Not a big difference. Definitive winning on the bottom lane. Especially if you look at the CS score, you can tell that our bot lane is 1. So that's what you know right now, and so your goal is just to not drop the entire life. Manage not to die there, but you're still kind of hovering around. It looks like you're going to go back. Good distance to go back from. He'd have to really dive with the bouncing bomb, although he should be going for this kill. I don't know why this guy was trash talking into the game. He's really bad. In fact, I think I kill him right here. No, he flashes out. So he wastes his flash getting away from a level 5 jungler. Cool, I guess. We'll fast forward a little bit farther. Check our stats again. So you can see Echo has now taken a drastic lead over the Vayne. We are almost double up in bot lane. Our jungle's a bit behind, but that's because I've been ganking here to get these leads. So she's got CS. I've actually got impact on the game. She has a kill, actually. I guess at this point I haven't done much, although I did get the Echo ahead, so still counting it. Anyway, I could have been doing more here, it looks like, but Sejuani is late game. Enough about that. That's not what I'm trying to explain. This ward you'd actually probably want to put up here. It looks unsafe, but his Fog of War. We go just a little bit back. Yeah, that's not a good trade again. So what he sees this. Completely aware of everything going on. You're actually taking... I don't think I went far enough back because he did not see this. There you go. He didn't see anything. He sees you barely as you're coming out of that brush. So if you walked into here, you could have juked him. That's less relevant. Here, you can see he's really abusing his level advantage. In team games, we'd call for a lane swap. All that means is you'd go down to mid, Echo would come up to the top. It didn't end up happening this game because we really didn't want to lane swap. We wanted to keep you ahead. But, yeah. So you're going to walk up here. You're still not using your minions, which means you're taking a lot of extra poke that's really unnecessary. Yeah, that itself is probably the main problem. And now we're going to start moving out of lane phase where everyone starts roaming around. You'll see Echo showing up here a bit more as we get farther in. down here. I'm over here. Yeah. So, main things, going back to a point randomly. Don't stick around when you're low on health. It just gives him time to posture and set up on you. Ping when he's low on health. Like, I know this doesn't look low to you, but this is definitely gank worthy. I could just kill him. Even if you didn't end up helping, which you hopefully would in that situation. Not a problem. So, ping for your ganks. Leave when you're too low. Don't try to get greedy and push it. You're just going to put yourself farther behind because you can't farm properly. And really work on turret farming. Farming when you're under turret. You lose a lot of CS. If we skip to about here, I'm interested what it would be. So this is 10 minutes in. Over doubled the CS. Not a good look. Yeah, fix those things up. Should be fine. That's your gist on a melee matchup.